Hello guys, Mike here on DIY Mike, where I teach you how to do it yourself. So your stove or oven won't come on at all. Typically that leads you to one thing, and that's a lack of power. So you're going to want to check your breaker box, make sure that the breaker is on. If your breaker's tripped, you most likely have overloaded the circuit and there's an electrical short somewhere. The other thing is to make sure that it's plugged in and the plug isn't loose. So with this particular range, which is the technical term for an oven or stove combination, um, the call came in that they had sparks that had come out from behind the oven and it had tripped the breaker. So I kind of had an idea of what was going on when I got there. But when I arrived, I found that it was the power terminal block, and that is where the power cord to the oven actually hooks into your range on the back part. So the power cord plugs into the wall and hooks into the back of your oven. Now that was shorted out, and I'm going to show you guys in this video how to replace that component. Now I didn't have to do any diagnostic except for a visual troubleshooting, but let's get right into showing you how to do this. And make sure before you do any repairs of any sort electrically, you turn off the breaker and you unplug what you are working on, just in case the breaker is faulty. So let's get right to it. Now, as always with anything electrical, you want to turn the breaker off. Okay, make sure your breaker's off and unplug the stove. And we're going to take the back off right here. This will access where the terminal block is, so that you can replace it. That's where the main power cord hooks up to the stove. Alright, be very careful, these edges are sharp. You can take this guy right off of here, and you can get a good close-up look. Look at that. We've got to get these two screws here. See that black screw right there? And the other one right over here. We want to get these two screws out. Alright. Now this will loosen the terminal up so that you can change these out one wire at a time. One wire at a time. Best policy as usual. Alright. Here's the new one. Now I'm going to dump this out and show you guys. Make sure you use the new screws, and you see this copper piece right here. This is like a grounding strap. You want to make sure you place this in the middle like so when you are putting the new block onto the back of your range. Okay? So we'll move the cord out of the way and set the new block in, line it up with the holes there. Put your two black screws back in. You can see it poking through the back there, so you can line it up. Do not over tighten. Okay, these are plastic. This drill I'm using is an impact drill, so it doesn't allow for over tightening really. Excuse me. So we'll run these two screws in, go back to the first one, make sure it's tight. Alright, so now we want to take these off one at a time. I'm using a 1/4 inch nut driver to back these screws out. Didn't get that one all the way. Oh, come on, Michael. Coordination test later. There we go, silly boy. Okay, and the bottom wire. And then move the old block out of your way. Remove the wires and set the new wire on. And again, you do not want to over tighten because you will break the terminal block. So put one of your new screws in there on the top wire, and we're going to repeat for the bottom wire. Sometimes I like to start them by hand. That's really probably the best policy overall. But get this one tightened up, and then I'm going to change the camera angle because I realize you can't see, and you probably are really enjoying looking at the back of my drill. Alright, so camera angle change here. Oh, there we go, much better. So again, you want to back these screws out one terminal at a time. Alright, now we can get that old block out of the way, and you can see there that grounding plate that just fell off, that copper. Don't forget that. Very important. Very important. Put a screw through it first and set her on there if I can get the damn wire out of the way. Alright, there we go. I didn't tighten that all the way down because I have to get the power cord wire underneath. See how I slid that under? That can be a little bit easier way to put those on. Tighten that guy up. Get your top one. Tighten that dude up. Nice and slow. Now this one here, because it melted and burned out, I gotta hold it with my needle nose, and it fought me quite a bit. Even using the impact wrench, I was having a hell of a time. Now the only reason I was reusing the wires is because they were only blackened and they weren't damaged. So you can see me here just fighting and fighting and fighting, because that metal had swollen up when it shorted out. So it made it really difficult to back those screws out, but I did eventually get it, as you can see, and I edited it out. It probably took me about 10 minutes to get those two loose. Really took a lot of diligence. So I'm going to just start the bottom screw here, just a little. I'm going to slide that power wire up underneath that post. There we go. Beautiful, beautiful. Tighten her up nice and slow. Get your top wire on. And how about that? Terminal block done. Put your cover back on. You see this lip here to the right where my finger is? You want to slide that underneath. You've got two screws to re-secure it. One here on the left, one at the bottom in the middle. And get those on there. Boom, shakalaka boom. Turn the power back on after you plug it in. Boom. Come on. There we go. Check it out. Red hot burners, oven and stove fixed. Alright, I hope you were able to find that part easily and repair your oven or stove easily. That's like a $20 or $30 part. As you saw, it's very easy to do. So I'm going to wrap this up. Tune in next time for some tips, tricks, and how to do it yourself. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you in the next one.